Yay! Stoptober is over. Can't remember November is in full swing. Now, what are we going to do to celebrate?
Wake up Africa. You time
yeah, party. This is my jam. Yeah, let's go. This is going to be great.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
This is a special edition of Africa Watch. With me, Dr. Mumbi Saraki on the Dr. Mumbi Show.
Hi, Dr. Mumbi. This is actually really fortunate because I've got a doctor question. How many litres of whiskey can the human body hold? I'm asking for a friend.
Last week I did a special show where I talked about how the elimination of the African population is in full gear.
Wait. What? What actually is? Man, that's a buzzkill and a half. Alright everyone, November is cancelled. And no, not just can't remember November, all November. It's now December 1st. Bright side, it's now only a few short weeks till Christmas. Okay, Doctor, what flip? Let's start this again, and I hope your reasoning isn't idiotic, because I don't want to have to cancel any more months.
The elimination of the African population is in full gear with vaccines.
Nope, that's it. Christmas is cancelled too. Like, seriously, what the hell? The mistrust of vaccines by ill-informed soccer mums worried what might happen to their kids based on a lack of education is one thing. But this? You're apparently a doctor and you're claiming that someone is trying to eliminate Africa via vaccine. That's literally the opposite of reality and probably the most backcrap smearingly insane thing I've heard maybe in all my time doing this. It's just... Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but woo cubed, man. Woo cubed.
I give an example of how the polio vaccine was being rolled out in Kenya.
Polio vaccine was being rolled out and you think that's bad because of course you do. Come to think of it, what is your doctorate in? Dr. Mumbi Saraki has a PhD from the University of Nairobi in African Women's Studies. Oh, fantastic then! I'm sure that gave you a great basis for understanding how vaccines work. Yeah, I know, just because she's not a medical doctor doesn't necessarily mean she doesn't know what she's talking about. But it's funny that it's not made clear anywhere in or near this video, almost like she's using her title to garner an argument from authority. But a false authority at that. It's like when creationists turn up with their lists of doctors who don't believe in evolution, but they are all park rangers or engineers without any academic research or published papers in the field that they don't believe. And yet, not a single one has anything approaching a degree that would allow them to understand the topic. Almost like they're deliberately trying to mislead you.
And kind of as a slap in the national face, the president released a presidential directive, something I don't think he's ever done in his 5-6 years of presidency.
Ah, well, if he's never done it before, that must be bad, I guess. Or do you think he's only doing it because my super secret Aluba Banana Rama Marty Party told him to do their evil bidding, whatever that may be?
Where he ordered every county government, that's how we operate here, like our little states, to make sure that the children are vaccinated.
Oh, it's certainly not like he now understands an incredible health risk to all Africans that can be stopped dead in its tracks with a simple injection. What a bastard. Of course, it makes total sense that he would actually be trying to kill all the African children. It's not like he's a human being. No, he's a politician. They don't have families or empathy or reasons beyond Dr. Evil-esque maniacal laughing at his plans. No, that would be crazy.
And I seriously...
have no Christing idea what you're talking about, and have probably caused more harm with your shitty little YouTube channel than a madman with a hatchet in the world's most overpopulated orphanage?
Wept for my nation. Not only for the nation of Kenya, but just for the nation of Africa.
Oh, well, if you've pretended wept for the nation, then you must know what you're talking about instead of being this bobblehead spouting nonsense that gets people riled up and causes poor community to start riots and the like. For what? I mean, money has to be a part of it, but even if I was starving to death, I don't think I could ever do anything so despicable for money. Stealing from blind cripples would be less abhorrent than what you do. You remind me of those preachers who spout hateful nonsense about gays or witches and get children killed because poorly educated rural folk don't have access to robust counters to this kind of crazy claim. And why would they lie? It's not like getting the worship and adoration of desperate people and getting what little income they do have could ever motivate someone to take advantage of these people. No, it doesn't happen.
And, there was overwhelming response to this video. And
we all know that when lots of people believe something, that makes it 100% true. That's why I need you to all believe in my enormous fun stick. Believe, people. Believe.
Overwhelming evidence of people talking about how they knew vaccines caused disease.
Overwhelming evidence of them knowing vaccines cause disease. Wow, that's a lot of dumb. Doctor, you do know that the plural of anecdote is not evidence, right? That no matter how many people say they think something, that is and never will be proof of that thing being true. Otherwise, literally every religion, cult, sect and basement congregation is correct about their beliefs, even though many of them say that theirs is the one true. Doesn't matter that doesn't make sense. Reality is now dictated by what people feel, and proof, evidence, even rational argument, all that is meaningless. Because why the hell would it matter? Darling, if you come at me with 100 studies that show that these vaccines are killing Africans en masse, then I'll listen. Hell, you bring me one, peer-reviewed with sound methodology, etc., then you'll have my undivided attention.
And some even giving examples of their own children becoming autistic, of their own children developing eczema.
It's always weird that unvaccinated children also get these conditions at pretty much the same rate, almost like it's not a factor that has anything to do with vaccines.
Of their own children developing asthma after forced vaccinations. Now, in the US, you have to get your children vaccinated for them to join school.
Well, that's not forced vaccination then, is it? That's what we call a choice, with consequences. Unfortunately, it's a consequence that tends to mean the kid will get the pissiest of piss-poor homeschooling and continue the wacky beliefs of their parents. But without forcing vaccinations on people who are healthy enough to receive them, I'm not sure how else, other than segregating these kids from the general populace, at least in closed environments, I'm not sure how else you would prevent rampant disease being spread, especially to those poor buggers who cannot be vaccinated.
We haven't reached that here yet in Kenya or in most African nations, but what happens is people trust their physicians and doctors so much.
We all know that people join medical fields in order to kill kids. Stands to reason. In fact, no, you're right. We shouldn't trust any doctors. Should we? Dr. Mumbi. Oh no, you're a doctor too. You've made a huge mistake.
They see them like their second god, which is just total insanity.
Second god? Don't you think the first one should exist before that? Haha, hashtag shots fired.
That they will do whatever the doctor orders, and they're even afraid to question.
People trust other people who actually understand a subject. No, that's just madness. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to take my car back to the dentist. I took it in last week, but all he did was fill the engine with teeth, and now it won't stop fricking rattling.
Some of the things I've written here, but a few physicians actually reached out to me with some very valuable information.
But I won't tell you who they are. You just have to trust me, because I'm a doctor. But don't trust doctors. Except these doctors who totally aren't made up, and me, with my degree in African Women's Studies that totally makes me qualified to talk about medical matters.
That I wanted to share with you, because we must remember that vaccines cause cancer, they cause autism, they cause eczema, they cause asthma.
Holy hell, that's quite the gish gallop of claims there. And of course you're going to share your extensive data with us that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that they do in fact do that. Do you know what? I've actually done it for you. Here's that overwhelming preponderance of evidence that vaccines are in fact Mecha Space Hitler Mark III. Good job, guys. Let's pack up and go home. Doctors have been proven wrong out of existence. We win.
There's so much overwhelming proof.
Well, let's be fair. Maybe she has linked this proof. Maybe it's in her fecking PayPal. I mean, it's literally the only link, and her rally to research, which, you know, people in glass houses should shut the hell up about the research they haven't done.
There's also proof that they have, human flesh, that they have heavy metals like aluminium and mercury.
Human flesh and heavy metal? See, now I like vaccines even more. That's my kind of party.
Which really become like a slow killer in our bodies.
Slow Killer, definitely the name of my heavy metal baby eating band. First album will be Vaccine Genocide.
They also cause all kinds of cancers, etc., etc., etc.
See, even all you've got is repeating things till people believe them rather than give one iota of actual proof. Proof requires hard work, and that PayPal link ain't going to check itself for undeserved donations, is it?
And, the more time lapses with these vaccines in our systems, the more the toxins affect us. And, someone wrote something. If you've been vaccinated, you're injured. And that was just like...
Somebody wrote something stupid in 2018? Well, stop the presses. What, they've already been stopped because no one reads newspapers? Alright then, smartass. Smash the iPads. Actually, do that anyway. Apple demands you upgrade immediately.
So I've got two quick solutions. In case you just got vaccinated, a day ago, 2 days ago, recently.
Anytime, really. I mean, there's no time frame because, really, we all know what I'm about to suggest won't do shit because that's simply not how vaccines work and I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Then there are some steps. But first, let me just start off by saying, please, please, please.
Buy my book.
Do your own research.
Oh, get out of it, you disingenuous frag bag. Do your own research. You know as well as I do that no one watching this is doing research. They are listening to you, reading natural news or any other pseudoscience blogs that themselves wouldn't know a proper study if it walked up and pissed in their shoes. Don't you find it weird that your type always talks about doing your own research when a scientist will likely tell you to look at the academic papers published in reputable journals, essentially telling you to read studies that other people have done? And hell, if you find fault with them, you can go out and do your own and turn the medical world on its head. Get yourself a Nobel Prize. Not going to happen because you're full of shit, but you could at least try.
Not only will it increase your conviction.
Research should not be making you more radical in your beliefs. It should be making you more correct. If you're only finding the world a more scary, dangerous place as you research things instead of actually learning that maybe doctors aren't all evil. I mean, some are, but we aren't going to say any names or show any faces, are we, Dr. Mumbi? But most doctors are people and are just trying to help their fellow man. Certainly not the baby murdering psychopaths that some dangerous individuals will be making things out to be. Anyway, thanks everyone and enjoy your Easter. I've had to cancel a lot of months for this one. Christ.